Hello and welcome to another edition of CSBJ Radio. I am your host, Greg Wilson, the owner and publisher of Connection Small Business Journal. You can find us online at www.connectionssbj.com. Follow us utilizing even our social media presence. I mean, we utilize everything from Facebook to Pinterest. However, our Facebook page specifically is facebook.com/connectionssbj. We are back in the studio. For those of you that knew and sent up your prayers and your thoughts, sent the emails, the text messages, you knew that we were sick. We greatly appreciate those, and we're very thankful for those prayers, those text messages, those emails that showed your support to us while we were out sick. But we are back. We are feeling great, and we want to jump in and record the third portion again. And I hate to have made those of you that were interested in this podcast wait for it. But this is the part three, entitled Going from Being Social to the Bank. And for those of you who have followed us before, you know on part one and part two how we just really got into social media. We talked about the numbers, we talked about certain statistics, but more importantly, we want to make the transition from just being social and online to actually going to the bank. And what do we mean by the bank? Revenue. The only goal behind social media is to ultimately make revenue for your business. If you are a small business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, a startup, stay-at-home mom that is doing this or that out of her house to make money, and you're utilizing social media, the entire purpose, the purpose of the end game or the end game is to make revenue for your business. All right, we are about attempting to make money for our small business. That's the only way we're going to stay in business. Is to make money. Our business must make money. So today we want to take a look at and record this podcast, going from being social to the bank. Yes, and listen to previous podcasts. Go and follow our online radio show. You can listen to the part number one, part number two, as we talk about the different aspects of it. We talk about Facebook being the number one social media platform right now. We talk about Pinterest being the rapidly up-and-coming social media platform. We talk about Twitter. We talk about developing a plan, and by you asking your customers, those things that are most important to them, to help you come up with a game plan to utilize social media to grow your business financially. All right, but today we want to take a look at what I will label as 3 tribes of social shopping. All right, and this will conclude this 3-part series, going from being social to the bank. But we want to look at 3 tribes of social shopping. Now, for those of you who have a Facebook page for your business specifically, you know that once you obtain 30 likes, all right, Facebook has it set up. They have a numerical value associated with the number of likes before they give you access to your insights, to Facebook insights. And while all social media platforms, you can look at your traffic, we're talking about specifically today, Facebook, and insights are such a critical piece of social media. It doesn't make sense to have a Facebook page and not find out or know or run a report and see, just what your social media presence is doing. What is it doing online? How many, for a 7-day span, for a 1-week span, how many people liked your page? How many people interacted with a post that you made? So we want to take a look at 3 tribes, or what I'm labeling as 3 tribes of social shopping. And again, the purpose behind insights, the purpose behind running any report to see, what your social media presence is doing, is to help you even fine tune, revamp, redevelop, throw in the trash, whatever it may take, for you to realize, number one, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how, again, you can make additional money or make money utilizing social media. If your business has not gained 1 customer this year, okay, from social media, and granted, I mean, we are in the 7th month, the end of the 7th month of 2014. But if your business has not gained 1 customer utilizing social media, you are doing something wrong. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, to you, but you are doing something wrong if your business hasn't gained 1 customer, 1 paying customer. Now, we're talking about not necessarily just talking about leads, all right? Paying customer. If you didn't make $1 this year from utilizing social media, then my friend, give us a call, 706-289-7863. Let's talk about it. Let's find out what you are doing wrong and how we can go about correcting the problem and get you from being social to the bank. All right, so we want to take a look at, again, a closer look today at three tribes or three categories of social shopping. All right. Who are the social purchasers? And we know that as we talked about, I believe it was in part 2 of going from being social to the bank, we talked about Pinterest, and just how, Pinterest is, the one that generates those spontaneous urges, those spontaneous shopping sprees, if you will, online. Pinterest is the one that generates that. All right. But when you take a look at, your existing social media insights, specifically Facebook, we need to know how many people are following us. Yes, we need to know which percentage of those are male, which percentage of those are female. And for those that are interacting or with your social media platform, your social media presence, what are their ages? Are they 18 to 30, or are they 30 to 50? I mean, this is information that you can utilize, to come up with a game plan and even a marketing plan, even a social media marketing plan, to help your business grow. All right. I'm a firm believer that data drives decisions. Data drives decisions, but you're going to have to access the data in order to make a decision. Do not make a decision, based on your social media presence blindly. And what I mean by blindly, you don't have a clue today, how many people are following you. You don't have a clue today of the X amount of people that are following you. How many are male? How many are female? And of those male or female, how many males bought from you? How many females purchased from you? This is information that is critical to your being able to go from being social to the bank. All right. So out of the general population, social purchasers, is really like a new thing with social media. All right. They are social purchasers, they're distinct literally in almost every way. Their demographics are different now. Their values are different. And even the way they shop, is even different. All right. We want to understand what I'm labeling again are the three social tribes, if you will, of social shopping. All right. And we have, male, of course, female, and then there are those, others that fall in. All right. So take a look at some statistics again. And again, I'm a firm believer that data drives decisions. So that's why I'm pumping the data out there, because it will help you and I, make a firm and a concrete and even an educated move when going from being social to the bank. All right. So social media purchases or social purchasers, excuse me, that for whatever reason wouldn't come out right. But social media purchasers are more active. Let's say like on Facebook, 87% of Facebook purchasers visit the site at least once a day. 87%. 87% of people that make a decision, based on something they saw on Facebook, make a decision to do business with a company based on what they saw on Facebook. 87% of those visit the site at least once per day. Okay. 68% say their Facebook post generates lots of likes and comments. All right. So these are your more visible Facebook users. 68% say that their Facebook posts generate likes, lots of likes, and lots of comments. All right. More social purchasers, more use of mobile devices while shopping. 27% comparison shop on their mobile devices while actually in a retail store. And I personally fall into that 27%. 27% actually shop and do comparison shopping. They're looking at prices. They're looking at what you have to offer and what your competition has to offer, while actually maybe in your retail store, in your competition's retail store, and they're doing it from a mobile device. All right. Many people and most social purchasers are more value conscious while shopping. 50% will try out products in the store, but will purchase in competitive stores if it is cheaper. And what does that mean for you and I? I mean, these numbers that I just throw out, 87% of Facebook users and visit the site at least once a day. 68%, say that their Facebook posts generate lots of likes and comments. All right. So that's 68% that is moved into a store or moved into a retail location or moved to make a purchase, moved to do business with you, saw that the post that they were looking at had a lot of likes and a lot of comments on it. So what in the world does this mean for you and I as a small business owner? If we are utilizing Facebook, and again, our focal point, I'm assuming maybe for the rest of this podcast today will be Facebook, but for you and I as a small business owner, if 87% of Facebook purchasers visit the site being Facebook, at least once a day, then guess what? My business needs to be on Facebook multiple times a day. I was on a webinar not too long ago. I say not too long ago. Back in 2013, I was on a webinar. And if you were to today ask me, Greg, what was the title of the webinar? I couldn't tell you. Greg, who was the speaker of the webinar? I really couldn't tell you. And if I had to go dig and find out, I could. But the one takeaway from me being on this webinar was this. The gentleman that, was conducting the webinar made a statement, and a statement that has stuck with me ever since I heard it. And again, I can't give you his name. I can't give you even the title of the webinar just off the top of my head. But the statement that I can give you off the top of my head is something that he said, which was this. He said that your business needs to utilize a social media platform 3 times a day. 3 times a day, your message. 3 times a day, your product. 3 times a day, your whatever it is, needs to be in someone's face 3 times a day. Utilizing Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, your presence, your offer, all of it, whatever it is, your sale, your coupon, your buy one, get one free, your welcome package, whatever it is, your call to action, whatever it is that you're trying to promote must be on a form of social media 3 times a day. All right. So one of these things, if 87% of Facebook purchasers visit the site at least once a day, then wow, you know what? I need to be, my business needs to be on Facebook at least once a day. I need to have my message out there at least once a day, utilizing Facebook specifically. All right. And if 68% of those that were moved to purchase saw that the post that they liked had a bunch of likes, had a bunch of comments, then whatever I'm posting on Facebook, I wanted to get a lot of likes. I wanted to be able to generate a lot of comments. All right. If 27%, of those went into a store to comparison shop and utilize their mobile device to comparison shop, then guess what? My business, my product, whatever it is that I'm doing utilizing Facebook has to have a mobile presence. And automatically that's taking place, with mobile devices. And if you have a Facebook page, again, that happens automatically, even without you really doing anything. But for you to have your information accessible for those that are looking for you, that are looking for your good, looking for your services, maybe they may be in a competitor's store at the time. They may even be sitting in a competitor's office, talking to another competitor about, a service that you offer. All right. But they're doing some comparison shop and they're taking notes. They're doing, and buyers now are a lot more savvy, if you will. And we live in a down economy right now, so every dollar counts. So we want to make sure that our web-based presence, our social media presence is easy and able to be found utilizing even a mobile device. All right. Now, 75%, I want to throw this number out there. A lot of people have influence on, buying decisions. But listen to this, that 75% of Facebook purchasers say they're asked for advice on their friends' buying decisions. We have people that follow us. Maybe even your business has, 1,000 likes. Maybe you as an individual have, 1,500 friends. Do you not know how powerful that is? Not just for us to have these, this number out here dangling up, above our head as it relates to the amount of friends that we have utilizing social media. But 75% of Facebook purchasers say that they're asked for advice on their friends' buying decisions. Hey girl, what do you think about this? Hey man, what do you think about that? 75% of Facebook purchases say they're asked for advice on their friends' buying decisions. All right, I mean that is just a huge number. All right, so let's take a look at the three tribes. I mean, we talked numbers enough, but let's take a look at the three tribes that we're labeling, and they're going to be in three categories. These three categories are thinkers, questers, and leapers. Thinkers, questers, leapers. Thinkers, questers, leapers. Thinkers use social media when they are contemplating. Now, many of us, maybe when we are trying to make a decision about, a good, a product, or a service, they turn to social media when they're contemplating about a purchase. They haven't even begun to actively do the research, but they're contemplating it. 48% of Pinterest users, 60% of Facebook users, and 70% of Twitter users say that, when they share or favorited the item, they later purchased it. Let's repeat that. 48% of Pinterest users, 60% of Facebook users, and 70% of Twitter users say that once they've shared an item, once they have, maybe favorited that item, maybe commented on that item, guess what? They later purchased that item. Those are your thinkers. Those are your thinkers. Now your questers. Questers, I personally probably fall into this. They research their purchase. They will analyze it to death before they actually make a decision. But so questers research their purchase and share or favorite specific items that they're thinking about buying. Listen to these numbers. 22% of Pinterest users, 24% of Facebook users, and 21% of Twitter users say that when they shared or favored an item, they later purchased. All right, so see it's almost 50% less. Questers, again, they research their purchase. They are the ones that will analyze. They will look at the data. They'll look at the product that you're offering, compare it to John Doe down the street and what he's offering. They're going to do their research before purchasing that item. And finally, we have leapers. Leapers, are those spontaneous shoppers. Leapers are inspired by social to make a purchase. And we talked about previously, I believe in part 2, how Pinterest is able just to capitalize on those spontaneous purchasers. All right. Leapers are inspired by social to make a purchase, even when they're not thinking about making a purchase. 29% of Pinterest users fall in this category. 29% went to Pinterest, were looking at pins, had no intention of buying, had no intention of doing business. They were just browsing, if you will, surfing the Pinterest website. And before they left Pinterest, they made a purchase. That 29% of those did that. That is a phenomenal number. 16% of Facebook users and 9% of Twitter users say that once they've shared or favorited the item, then they later purchase. So that even a smaller number of leapers make purchases that way. Leapers, again, I promise you, they are more spontaneous. They're more apt to make a decision on a whim. All right, and we want those. Those are, even when you're in maybe a local retail store and you've shopped, right? And your shopping cart is full, and then you're in a cash register line waiting to make your purchase, and you're inundated one last time before you leave that retail establishment with those what I call impulse buys. Well, leapers are impulse purchasers. They haven't really done any research. They haven't even decided that they're going to do business with you, but on an impulse, based on something they see, based on something that maybe they liked, that they saw, then they make a purchase based on it. All right, so again, we want to go from being social to the bank. Going, again, from being social to the bank, I state over and over and over, if you are utilizing Facebook, if you're utilizing Twitter, Pinterest for your business, all right, the end goal, the end game should be for there to be a return on that investment of time, that investment of making that post, that investment of putting that product online. The end goal is to make revenue for your business. And I say all the time, once you make a post utilizing Facebook, or you make a post utilizing Twitter or Pinterest or whatever it is that you're using, always tag your business. Tag your business, even put your website address in that. And for those of you who still do not have a website, look, I mean, it's time for us to step up, and be serious, if you will, about our businesses. Okay, our businesses can succeed. They can move forward. They can generate revenue. Your business can be as big as it wants to be on social media. Your business can generate revenue. It can, but we're going to have to do those things. We're going to have to be diligent. We're going to have to track our numbers. We're going to have to know our numbers. If you just started a Facebook page last week, your very first goal is to acquire 30 likes. That is the first goal. Acquire 30 likes. Why? Because at that time, you're able to look at Facebook Insights and get data. I'm talking about live data that can help you come up with a marketing plan for your social media presence. All right. So again, this has been Greg Wilson. We're talking about, again, going from being social to the bank. It's good to be social online. It's good to even have your business online, but we want to go from being social to the bank. That's been today's broadcast. And again, for those of you who prayed for us, those of you who sent those emails, and those of you who sent those text messages, I greatly thank you. Let's go from being social to the bank. This has been Greg Wilson with Connection Small Business Journal. Again, you can find us online at www.connectionssbj.com. If you're interested in advertising opportunities, whether it be in our magazine, on our website, on this podcast, on our television show, give me a call today at 706-289-7863. Maybe you're even interested in us coming out, speaking to maybe a church group or a group about starting their business. For those of you who are serious about your business, give us a call. Again, my telephone number is 706-289-7863. This is Greg Wilson, owner and publisher of Connection Small Business Journal.